Hello everyone, welcome back to day 14 of 30 days of our AWS cloud journey. I'm Chayan and today we are going to talk about AWS most powerful DevOps tool, that is the AWS code pipeline. In the previous lectures we have talked about code builds and we have seen about how you can just create a quickly code builds, and now from the code pipelines we are going to automate it. So if you have been following around me, we have already used how to code builds generally used for the code builds part, how to connect it with the GitHub. Now it's time to stitch all together with the code pipelines part. By the end of this video, you will get to understand about what is code pipeline, its key component, how we can connect GitHub with the code pipelines and build the automations part. Okay, so before moving forward, let's quickly understand about the first part, that is our AWS code pipeline. Okay, so let's quickly understand the code pipeline. Okay, so code pipeline generally comes under the for the pipeline flow. Suppose in the last class we have just talked about we have source. Okay, we were having a source. Okay, this is we were having first of all source, then we were having the build state, then we were having the test state, then we were having the production state. So all these were the state. Like for the build stage, we have for the GitHub, like it's taking the code from the source code part. Like there can be AWS code commit, or there can be GitHub part. In the yesterday we have talked about the code builds part, and we have been testing with the code builds or building this particular part. But all this particular three of the stage comes under the CI/CD part, which generally known as 3 to 4 stage comes under the CI/CD. We generally say continuous integrations and the continuous pipelines part. So what generally happens over here, we can just put our source repositories on any part. Either you can just put on the your code commit, or you can just put on the GitHub. Yesterday we have seen about we have taken for the GitHub part. Then we are going to integrate with the code pipeline for the automations flow. So basically it generally helps for the automations part. CI pipelines are generally used for the connections part. Here you can see the pipeline word automatically, like this is the one of the flow, this is another pipe, this is a third pipe, this is the fourth pipe. So of this pipe we are going to connect all each them, and we are going to make them secure way. Okay, so let's me first of all divide this stages into the three parts. We generally have this three main stages. Okay, three main stages. Okay, first stage is all about the source stage, where the first stage is all about the source stage. The source stage is something like where the code we are just capturing, where the code we are just putting all those coming. Like it generally defines the code is coming from which place, GitHub code commit, all this particular. It detects changes using the webhooks part. Okay. Second, we have the build stage. Yesterday we have seen this particular build stage, how you can just quickly build your code build part, where we connect with the code builds and we have build inspect.yml file, and we build our applications. And third stage comes with, that is a deploy stage. Okay, deploy stage. So in this deploy stage we generally deploy our code to the production side or to the development side or whatever else we want. So to connect all this in a pipeline flow, we generally have a code pipeline offered by the AWS cloud service, and we are going to see about how we can just happen. So what generally happens, suppose a person, he is a developer. Okay, he has just pushed the code. So yesterday we have the scene, we were manually going and we were manually starting the build part. Okay, but suppose this developer is working continuously, and if we are not available, suppose we have just taken a 2 days of leave, and there is no other person of a DevOps person. So what we are going to do, we are quickly going to create a such kind of pipeline. It is as it automatically pushes the code, it will automatically build for you, and it automatically deploy for you. Deploy part will be our upcoming videos, but today we are going to check like how this particular is going to just push, and it will automatically going to build for you. So this is the one of the advantage which the code pipeline generally give to us. Here you can add some kind of test also, and here you can add the deploy parts also. All these things we are going to see in this particular video. So let's quickly move to our AWS Cloud Console, and let's quickly jump into the demo part. Okay, that uh, this is our AWS Cloud Console. Okay, now let's quickly search for the code pipeline. Let's quickly create our first code pipeline. Then we are going to attach and create a git prevent event part. So let's quickly open our node to do repository where we were working on the from all this particular part. So this was our repository. Let me quickly directly open this node to do, and here how does the pipeline suddenly looks like. Okay, so let's create a pipeline. So what are those options you have? You have the deployment options. Either you want to do deployment, so you want to push the ECRs. For the ECRs part, ECRs is about a Docker Hub repository. Okay, so we are going to discuss this into the upcoming videos. What is ECR? Okay, we have ECS, Fargate. This is also Docker, CloudFormation, Terraform. We don't need this. Then we have continuous integrations. We have automations world. We don't need anyone. We are just building our custom pipelines from ourselves only. Okay. Now you have to give next. You have to provide the name, pipeline name. What the pipeline name? I'm just giving as a code pipeline only. I'm just making the name as a code pipeline. Then what kind of mode you want? You want suspended mode. You want QL mode. You want parallel node. So I'm using with the qued mode. That it will create a new service role. Nothing to worry about it. If you have any existing service role, you can. If you don't, you can just create a new service role. It will create for you. You have to just go move to the next. What the service name role you want? I'm just giving as a code pipeline. It should create a new service name role by code pipeline. Then what is our source provider? Our source provider is GitHub. So we can you have to connect to the GitHub part. So let me quickly configure my GitHub sections over here. In the behind the scene, this is my some kind of privacy part. So I'm just quickly connecting with my GitHub. Just give me 2 seconds. Yeah, here my GitHub has been successfully connected. Once my GitHub is connected, what kind of repository I'm going to use over here? So they list out all the repository you have in your AWS account, in your GitHub account. So we are using the node one. So this is my node to the CI/CD repositories. Okay, on which branch you want to flow with automation? So I'm working on the master branch. If you see, yesterday we have built our code build onto the master branch. Okay, let's quickly go to the code build. If anyone has missed the video, this is a prerequisite for this particular video. Just go and check it out. How to quickly create a code build. Okay, then this has been loading. Yesterday we created node to do CI1, and here as I just talk about how to check it out. Project build details here. This is a repository, and this is the source as a master is over working over here. Okay, then let's quickly jump to the pipeline part. Then we have added which repository, which branch you want. Just go to the next. What you want? Any command? No, we want other providers. Like already we have been created a code build for us. Like we already have code build for us, and the project name is node to do CI. What is the project name you want to create or add? Else you can just create a new projects also here. If you want, I can you can just go through the video. I will provide into the description, so you can just go out. Okay, then you have to do nothing. You have to just leave as a default as a default. You have to go to the next. Here I was just discussing about the test cases. So do you want any kind of test, any kinds of things? No, I don't want some kind of any kind of this thing. Skip. Do you want to deploy anywhere like EBS, Lambda, EKS, ECS? No, I don't want to. I also want to skip this. So this is our pipeline flow. What all those things been there? This is a code pipeline queued, and we have connected with the GitHub authentications, poll sources repository. Uh, okay, nothing's to be there. They have just provided poll for the source change. So let's quickly check our settings. Let's quickly, I will like to show something else. This is also connected. Okay, this is also been connected. Uh, Input or enable retry. This is nothing. You just need to leave this. Yeah, we are ready to move, ready to go. I guess I will just show you later on. Let's quickly create our pipeline. So here our pipeline is getting created. Nothing to worry about it. It takes about a certain 1 to 2 seconds to build our pipeline. Okay, so let this pipeline get successfully created. This pipeline has been successfully created. Here we have source, and this source is going to build. If you comes over here to the node CI/CD, here you can check it out in the build history. They are going to start in progress part here. See, now the source version and submitter is who? With the code pipeline. If we start building manually, so they generally show about the root part. They generally show who we have the root. We were starting from the manual part. Now the source version, they are just taking. You can just go and you can just check it out. What is the code pipeline? Which source version they are just taking? They will show you this kind of pipeline flow. So we now what is happening, suppose let it's quickly build. It takes some 1 minute to be built, so don't worry, 41 seconds has been done. So now what generally happens over here, now we don't need to again and again and again build over here. Okay, what we have just added some kind of triggers. Okay, we have the triggers option over here. If you want to add the triggers, like what kind of triggers you want to create. Triggers is like on push triggers. Okay, descriptions based on you want cron based schedulings. The here we have rate like every 12 hours, every 1 hour, every 2 hours, some kind of this particular thing. This is cron based scheduling. Cron based scheduling is something like uh, at particular every day, at particular, like suppose every day 2 o'clock, every day 1 o'clock, every day 5 o'clock, it is going to run this some kind of cron job for you. So cron job, if you are connected with the Linux world, if you are connected to the Linux commands, so cron job generally used for the scheduling the part. Suppose you want that things to be happen for 1 month, okay, and at that particular time, suppose some kind of alarm. So what's happened, it generally uh, alarms are generally ping at 8 o'clock, whatever alarms you generally put. So here the cron based scheduling is also defined over there. Then we have event weights. What kind of event you want? You want ECR, if you want SC. So I'm just showing this kind of certain kind of functions also we have. Then we have executions. You can just check it out what kind of executions they have just provided. This has been successfully at what time, what how much time has been taken. Then we have settings. In the settings part, we have more like what is RRNs. Then we have tags. Do have provided tags. What are the stages? Stages has not been set. So this is generally pipeline flow. Here you can check it out. We have built all those particular things have been there. Here you can check build has been successfully done. Now, what's the things? Like suppose, let's quickly make a change and you will check it out. It will automatically build for us. We are not going to manually do anything. So let's quickly have a minor change in the Docker file. We are just going to command add. This is my change for code pipeline. Okay, let's quickly just commit the change. Let's commit, and once the commit been done, you can come up over here. The code pipeline has been started triggering. We have not automated anything. See, this has been into the in progress part. Here, if you comes to the code build, this our node to do. So this is automatically the progress has been started. Well, this has been running too because I already have created this testing one before for testings. So this is the code pipeline which generally triggers and it will automatically build for you. It will automatically succeed for you. Now, this was the general flow. I just want to show you how the code pipelines makes you for the automations. Well, you don't need any kind of manual inventions. Suppose if your developers is continuously again and again and again pushing the code again and again, changing the codes. Okay, so it will automatically build for you. And for the deploying stage, we are going to learn about it into the upcoming sessions. So how the things will be deployed into the any kind of environment. Suppose you have the environment, if you have production environment, how these things can be flow down over here. So it takes something around 1 minute 11 seconds to build. So let's quickly wait for 5 more seconds to generally quietly build this particular build flow. So like this way you can also connect your Docker any kind of repositories over here. You can just quickly commit the change. You can add a code pipeline and you can just check it out how it quickly triggers without a manual invention. That is how the automations in the DevOps world flow. This all the things are into the automations world. Okay, so we have seen about like how we can just source we have built and where we are going to see about how you can deploy on some kinds of platforms. So some important tips I just want to give over here is like always give the least privileges to your services role. Like we provides administrative role, we provide some kind of role, but always provide your least privileges role. Store sensitive credentials and AWS secrets manager, some kind of that. And the code pipeline is very good for the multi-environment pipelines. Like we have dev, we have staging, we have prod. So at that particular stage, these pipelines have been very good for us. Okay, so that's a wrap up of day 14 of AWS series. Today we learn about what is code pipeline, how you connect with your GitHub with the code pipelines part, and how we run our first automated build on your commit. Like this way, you can check it out and you can just look into the, we have code builds. If you go to the histories part, you can just check we have succeeded. If you again come up to the pipeline here in the pipelines, okay, like this way you can create more pipeline with different kind of GitHub repositories. Here, see, if you come to the code pipelines way, here all the triggers been, you can just check it out. Settings, text executions. So yeah, what are kind of executions? So webhook for this updated, what they just updated, we have just updated a Docker file. They're just showing the source was this particular repository. So like this way, you can create a different kinds of webhook triggers, which generally happens anywhere in any file. Any kind of changes happen, it will automatically change for you. It will automatically deploy for you. Let me quickly change one more. My first success of code pipeline. Okay, let's quickly commit. Just commit the changes. It will again, if you comes up over here, it will again see this third execution has been started into the in progress, and it will deploy, it will build for you. Now, we are going to see about deploy into the upcoming stages. So tomorrow you might deep dive into the code deploy part. We are going to explore about the code deploy part. If this help you, give the video a like, share, subscribe, follow for day 15 and beyond. If you have any queries, if you have any questions, you can ask me in the comment section. And thanks for watching this video. See you soon in the next video.